Hi guys, welcome back to another video where Stephanie reads. My name is Stephanie and today we're going to be doing the About Me tag so that way you can get to know me a little bit more. So let's get started on the questions. The first question is, what do you study? What is your job? Well, I currently am unemployed looking for work, but I studied when I was in school design and also studied fine arts. And I also took some business courses on the side, and also since I left school, I continued my education on my own through books and tutorials. Next question. What is your favorite social media channel? Well, I gotta say, I love Goodreads because it's a good place to discover new books, and I also love reading reviews from my favorite booktubers. And I think it's like kind of cool to find to read some what they thought about books, even the ones that they don't really talk about on YouTube. And my other one favorite social media channel gotta be like between Pinterest and Instagram because I love looking at pictures and coming from a design background, I love looking at inspiration and especially as a good way to find new books. And if you follow a restaurant on Instagram, they sometimes will upload like new dishes, and it's always nice to look at new food. Next question is, if you had another channel, what would it be about? Let's see. I pretty much will do a channel like either between channel about me playing music because I like to play keyboard and like doing covers and stuff. So I would like a channel like that's based on my music, or I would do one that's based on design and maybe like a design where I show my artwork and show behind the scenes and maybe do some reviews on books that's more like for creatives and business entrepreneurs because I don't see a lot of booktube specific channels that's mostly about like business books. So I think I would do like one about that. The next question, do you play any instruments? Yes, used to play the clarinet when I was in school, and now I play like since seventh grade playing the piano. Uh, yeah, it was like always fun, and I love playing music. And I'm a huge fan of Billy Joel, and I got really inspired, and so now I just play all the time and write my own music and stuff. Next question is, what hobbies do you have other than reading? I have many hobbies. Some of my hobbies include collecting CD covers. I actually do keep a box of them whenever I buy a CD. I know like everything is about like buying iTunes all the time, but I actually love using CDs. And I always like to collect the little booklets that they have on CDs, and then I keep them around and use them as inspiration and stuff. I also like to play solitary, uh, especially like on the floor. I use the cards and I play like mini games like Free Cell, Spider. I like regular solitary, Yukon. There's so many games. I also like to do arts and crafts, and I also like to paint and draw. Coming from a fine arts background, that's where I started from before I got into design, and I used to paint a lot. And I was actually known as like the person that paints a lot of hands and eyes, and so it was like kind of like something I do. I also love to collect brochures whenever I go to places. Like whenever I travel, I like to go on road trips, and then I collect them and then learn about what places I would like to go in the future. And I also like to make smoothies. I like to cook as a hobby, and I like to write short stories. I play music. I actually do have a SoundCloud account where I upload my new music and stuff. So that's pretty much what I like to do. The next question is, what is my favorite TV shows? I have a lot of favorite TV shows. I mean, I love Netflix and I love watching TV other than reading. And some of my favorite shows gotta be Glee. I'm a huge Glee fan. I love the music and the dancing, and they always like play my favorite songs. I also love Bones with the mysteries, and I'm actually really sad that it ended recently because it was a really good show, and it was one of those shows that kept on getting good. So because like some shows will have like that one season last season that tends to go bad and they try to like make it shorter like Switch That Birth, and it was really good. I am a huge Gilmore Girl fan. I'm pretty much on Jess' team. I don't like Logan or Dean. Well, from when he came back in the show and did stuff, and he kind of like, I don't know. And I love the characters, Lorelai. I love Luke and everybody else. My other favorite show gotta be House. I love House, and I think the Doctor, he's crazy, but he knows what he's doing. So as long as I'm not the patient, I'm good. So I also like watching all the superhero shows like Arrow. I like The Flash. I like Supergirl. I like Agents of the Shield. I like Legends of Tomorrow. I pretty much love superheroes. Except I would wish that they don't make too many sequels in the movies because sometimes it can get too repetitive. Some of my other favorite shows also include Younger, which is having another season this month, and I'm happy that it came back. I like watching Stitchers, which is another show on Freeform, which is like a mystery show with a lot of sci-fi elements in it and really cool. Let's see. I recently picked up watching this one show called Famous in Love. I think it was based on the book, so I wanted to check that out first, just to see how it is. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I'm also a huge fan of The 100, and The 100 is awesome. It keeps on getting better. I love it, and it's just always crazy each season. I think it was based on the book, but if it was, then I'll really fully watch it. I love Girl Boss, and that's good. So those are my favorite shows. I have many more, but it's a very huge list, and each year I always keep adding more. What got you into reading? Pretty much all those trips to the library. I always been really into the library, and every time, like, especially during school, like whenever we take trips to the library, and then the librarian will talk about new books that they recommend, like part of the younger readers program, and also, well, I also learned how to read, so my mom got me into reading. So thanks to mom, I yeah, and then after that, I just like got the reading bug, and I always found like it always gets very exciting when Borders used to be around. I always go there, and it's like going to a candy store and looking at all those books. I mean, you can just go there every week and just read every single book, even there, because bookstores, I don't think they really mind you reading the books. Yeah, so next question. What are your favorite and least favorite genres? My favorite genres gotta be sci-fi and fantasy. I also love mysteries, like maybe in the style of Da Vinci Code or maybe Hannibal, like kind of like that. I also enjoy reading books with dystopian. I mean, not all the time, but I do love it. It's one of my favorite genres. I especially like one of my favorite ones. Got to be Unwind Histology by Neil Schusterman. I think he's an amazing author, so he always makes good books every single time, and I'm always it's like always fast paced and it's really good. My other favorite genres recently, I got really into apocalyptic. Like that whole end of the world theme is always interesting and it's always fresh when there's too many like hypes going on. So it's kind of like nice to read some more. My least favorite gotta be YA romance and just straight up romance. For one, YA romance is kind of weird because I'm kind of like 27, so reading about two teenagers falling in love is kind of like weird to me, and I'm like, I don't want to hear about teenagers doing stuff in the book falling in love. I mean, from the exception of Fault in the Stars, that's okay, but yeah. And straight up romance is just kind of boring. I need something else like action or some type of mystery going on at the same time before without just the romance because it'd just be boring. So yeah, and I there's a lot of other many genres out there that it's not my least, but I haven't read enough of like horror. I haven't read a lot of books of them, but if you know any good horror books, I totally like some recommendations. So they're always interesting. Let's see. What books define your childhood? When I was a kid, my major books that I was reading was Dr. Seuss. I liked the Clifford books. I always been into the American Girl books. My mom gave me American Girl books that had like a lot of history pictures on them, and I always got really into. It was like more like with books and history that became my main obsessions, and so I got really into it. And I loved the stories of many of the girls, especially Addie. And I also was really into this one book called Number of the Stars, which I was. It was like a class reading, one of those books that my teachers were reading to us, and I got really into it. So I even like borrowed my own copy of it, and it was a really good book. If you like history and like World War II type of books, that's a good one. My major favorite series, other than that, was Junie B. Jones. I always been obsessed with them. Every time there's a book sale, I would totally get one, and they're always fun. If you haven't read them, they're really good. And actually, I think recently one of the schools in my area did have like a musical of it, so I thought it was really cool. So yeah, the next question is: tell us an interesting fact about you. Well, someone I'm gonna give you two. I'm part Colombian, my mom's side, and I love Colombian food, and so it kind of like goes with the culture. And I also love being Colombian, and I'm happy about that. I also live in Virginia, so I live close to DC, and so it's kind of always fun to go back and forth. And so I guess that's pretty much all the questions. Um, so if you want to know anything else about me, you can like leave it in the comments below. And until next time, keep on reading.